Good afternoon. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. We're on day 16 of the garden produce recipes, and I've got a bunch of, I don't know if they're oddball ones, a bunch of interesting ones, I should say. The first one is Zucchini Gummies. I've made these, and we really like them. In fact, I get the grandchildren to eat them, and they didn't know that they were eating zucchini or vegetables. They thought they were like the ones you buy uptown. Okay? You need your zucchini. You only need two things: your zucchini and frozen concentrate juice. The frozen ones, the little the cans that they come in, and a can of water. And that's all you do. You put the zucchini and the water and the juice in a saucepan. You simmer it for 25 minutes. Bring it to a boil. Then you simmer it for 25 minutes. And you turn it all off. You remove your zucchini from the juice, and you place in your dehydrated trays. And you dehydrate for 14 to 18 hours at 125 degrees. Now, that's the recipe that I was to follow. But you know me, I kind of change it around to fit me. Anyway, I was called away unexpectedly while I was making my second batch of zucchini, and I had just finished cooking them, but rather than take them all and put them on the trays, I just left them in the juice, and away I went. So I came back, and I put them on the trays, and you know what? They had absorbed some of that juice, a lot of that juice, and we like them better than we like the original ones. So that's what I do. I leave my zucchini in the juice until it cools, and then I put it on the trays. Those are the way we like it. That's the way I do it. I'm sorry, I'm kind of moving around here. These can also be use Kool-Aid instead of juice. And then you use 2 packages of Kool-Aid, 2.5 cups of sugar, and 3 cups of water. And you follow the same direction. I have never tried that. I tried the juice, and that's what we like. Another thing you can do is save your juice and make another batch. But if you leave the zucchini in the juice like I did, there's not much juice left, okay? But I'm sure if you make more than one batch and you save the juice from 2 or 3 batches, you will have enough to make another batch, okay? And also, you can put sugar after 14 hours. Roll the gummies in sugar, and then you finish dehydrating them. That's a lot more like the spice drops, I guess you call it, where they've got sugar on them. I don't do that very often. I usually just go with the zucchini as it is and let it dehydrate, and I don't worry about the sugar. I figure we get enough sugar in our lives as it is, and my grandchildren definitely do not need more sugar, or they would really be hyper. Okay, the next one I've got is another interesting one. Whoops, I skipped one there. Coleslaw. This one is interesting just simply because when I got to the bottom, it tells me to use green food coloring. I have no idea why we use green food coloring on that one. But it's also got a dressing, and you don't use mayonnaise or anything. You use your vinegar and your sugar and so forth for a dressing. That's a very simple recipe that you've got, and I use it a lot, but I don't add my green food coloring. I guess they figured, I'm assuming, and every time I assume I get in trouble, but I am assuming that they wanted it for luncheon or something like that, and they wanted to make sure that people knew it was coleslaw, cabbage, so they added the green food coloring. Okay? The next one is a cucumber slices, and yes, I know I've given you plenty of them. But here's another one. It's different again. Not much. This one uses the dill in and makes it like dill pickles. So it's, like I said, a very simple recipe again. If you don't have fresh dill is better, but if you don't have it, just put in the dill wheat dried dill weed. Remember, when you use any of these herbs that are dried, rub them in your hands first so you get all the oil, so the oil comes out and you get more flavor in it. Okay? Then you just do the cucumbers, you add your onions, your dill, and make your dressing. And it's a simple dressing. It's a common dressing. It's one for almost all of my recipes: sugar, vinegar, and water. And you boil it and pour it over the cabbage, and over the cucumbers. I'm sorry. And you cover in your refrigerator for 3 hours. I usually leave it overnight. I do it in the evening and leave them overnight. Okay. Onions are garden. We all grow onions. Whether or not you like this one will depend on how well you like onions, or how well onions like you. But there again, it's a simple one. It's usually things that you have in your pantry. The only thing you might not have is the whipping cream, but that's easy enough to get. Okay? Onions are garden. And you slice the onions, you put them in butter until they're tender. Then you place the onions in a grease baking dish. You combine the broth and the whipping cream, flour, salt, pepper, and you beat it all together until it's smooth. Then you put it in the oven. Sprinkle your cheeses on top. Bake it uncovered for 25 to 30 minutes, or until the cheese is bubbly and golden. You have 2 kinds of cheeses here, and it's a good cheese. It's a good recipe if you like onions. A lot of times I will use it for when I have liver and onions, rather than putting the onions right on top of the liver. This is just something a little bit different, and we use it quite frequently, like I said, with liver. Onions are gratin. Zucchini with dill. This is another one. This one is not a canning one. It is just plain zucchini. A zucchini salad. And you cook your zucchini until it's crispy tender, not really crispy, and then you put in your stir in your flour, add your water, lemon juice, and sugar and salt if you want, and then you bring it all to a boil and you cook and stir for 2 minutes until it's thickened. You reduce heat and simmer uncovered for 5 minutes. You remove from the heat, stir in your cream cheese and your dill, and you've got it made. Okay, it's a side dish is what it is. A hot side dish, not a cold side dish. Okay? Zucchini with dill. Alright, the next one, I seem to be skipping some around this page, around this thing. But let's go chocolate zucchini bars. This is also a very simple one, and it keeps them, they're moist. They stay moist. Kind of like a brownie, okay? And they stay moist at the time. So it's a good recipe. If you don't know anybody who doesn't have too much zucchini. It seems like you have just 1 or 2 plants and it just goes absolutely wild on you. You have a zucchini, a small one, and you think, well, if that's too small, I'll pick it up tomorrow, and the next day it's huge. And not only it's hidden under some leaves and you don't see it, and when you do find it, it's huge. I've got a couple huge ones here. Of course, my growers, the people who grow them for me, know I'll take large ones, so they give them to me. Okay. It's like brownies. Not quite, but just about. But they keep very, very moist. And yes, it's got the cocoa and everything. It's like brownies. Okay? Not really a cake. It's just a brownie. Okay. Green tomato bread. You're coming to the end of the season and you have green tomatoes. This is your bread for them. Oh, yes, you can fry them. It's green tomatoes. I don't know if I've ever had a fried green tomatoes, but I have had this. And it tastes moist, and it stays moist. very simple bread recipe. It's a quick bread. So there you go. Green tomato bread. Here's the one I'm making right now. Frozen pickles. They're going in my freezer, so they'll be here until about Christmas. Anyway, I've got the got them sliced and peeled, and the onions in there, and the salt there. We're just sitting right now until they're done for the 2 hours, and then we'll drain them, mix the sugar with the vinegar, and pour over our cucumbers, and then I put them in the containers and I freeze them. No, there's no cooking or anything. You might have to cook the vinegar just a little bit in order to dissolve the sugar, but otherwise it's a very simple recipe, and it's a good recipe, and we can have pickles at Christmas time, frozen pickles at Christmas time, and they taste, once you thaw them out, don't thaw them all the way out, to them slightly frozen, but otherwise they really get soggy and they won't taste very good. But if you want frozen pickles for Thanksgiving or Christmas, this is the recipe to use. And this was given to me by my housekeeper, and she had lots of good recipes, so that's the... Alright, let me see if I can get my other recipes up here that I missed. One is, what is this? Frozen slaw. I'm also making this one. I haven't got this one quite done yet. I haven't started it, but it's wow. Well, I hope to have it done today. I can't guarantee I'll have it done today. The way things are going, probably not. But anyway, this is another one. And this one will make about 5 quarts of frozen slaw. And it's also a recipe that, if you want coleslaw, it's a good recipe. I use this one all the time, and I love it. I got it a long time ago, 30-some years ago, I think. So I've been using this recipe for a long time. And it says it keeps frozen for a year, or if you put it in your refrigerator for up to 2 weeks. I think it lasts longer than 2 weeks. Most of the coleslaw made this way with the dressings, with the vinegar and water and sugar. Yeah, they stay longer than that. Okay, that's the one recipe, is frozen one. That might get done today. I'm not going to guarantee anything on that one. Here's another one. Zucchini marmalade. Now this one I know isn't going to get made today. I don't have everything I need for it, but it is a marmalade. It's a jam, and it is something that's different again. So you use your zucchini or your summer squash, or a combination, whatever you happen to have. And pineapple, crushed pineapple, your juice is included. You got an apple that's finely chopped, zest and juice of 1 lemon, zest and juice of 1 orange, a box of sugar, 5 cups of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of powdered ginger. And it's really very, very simple. You combine everything except the sugar, and mix it thoroughly. You bring it to boil. You when it starts to boil, then you cook it for a little while. You got to get your zucchini cooked. I don't have that down there. It says bring to a boil, add sugar, bring back to a boil. But you got to cook your zucchini somewhere. So once you bring it to a boil, then go down to a simmer and add your sugar. Then you add sugar, and once it's cooked, the zucchini is tender. Then you add your sugar, and you bring back to a boil and boil until it starts to thicken. Remember, it's the same procedure for any juice, any jelly, any marmalade. Make sure your zucchini and your apples and your lemons, your apples are very finely chopped. You don't want them too big, but you really don't want them too small either. You want to know they're there, but you also don't want them so big that you have to eat 2-3 bites of them, chop them. I'm going to say maybe a 1/4 inch of an inch to 1/2 inch. Okay? Have a good day. God bless you. And we'll see you later on. This is day 16 of the 30-day garden recipes. Bye-bye.